just right. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again, watching, listening. I'm Jimmy. I'm the host again this time. We have Joe, and we have the Canadian radio morning DJs, Balzania and Fandango in the morning. We got Dink, and we got Chris. Thank you. Check out our landing page, justrankedpod.com. You can see all of our socials. You can, one click, get to listen, watch, enjoy all the experiences, both experiences. One has videos, one has songs playing in the background. So thank you again for enjoying our idiocy for the 20-some episodes that we have. This show, it's really simple. There's 4 of us. 2 of us are in America, 2 of us are in Canada. We take our top 4 favorite, best songs of the topic of the week. This week we have kind of a solemn. We are going to be celebrating the music of Michael Jackson. The air of this show will be on the date of his death, which was June 25th, 2009. So this will be airing June 25th. 2025. I just want to take a couple minutes and talk about a brief history of Michael Jackson, and then we're going to pass it on to our esteemed colleagues here. He was born in 1958, Gary, Indiana. Michael Joseph Jackson, the king of pop. 1964, he made his public debut, the Jackson 5. A lot of people think his first solo album was Off the Wall. In fact, Off the Wall was his 5th solo album outside of the Jackson 5. The first TV appearance was in 1969 at the Miss Black America pageant. His first actual solo album was 1972. I was 1 year old. He was the Scarecrow in The Wiz. A box office failure, unfortunately. His big song was Ease On Down the Road on that. His first solo album as an adult was 1979, and that was Off the Wall, which had 4 top 10 songs. He was the co-writer with Lionel Richie of We Are the World. That album made $63 million. Today's dollar was $184 million. 4 Grammys. There's just so much history to cover in our little pod. We'll start with that. Michael Jackson. Let's celebrate Michael Jackson. And in this episode, we have Joe starting. Take it away.
Yeah, so we came up with this topic, Michael Jackson. I was like, okay, who? No. Michael Jackson. You brought up 1958. 2 other artists were born that year. Do you know who they were?
Prince,
Rogers Nelson, and Madonna.
I didn't know Madonna. That's awesome.
They're all the same age. And she probably had more plastic surgery than the other 2 combined, and that's saying something.
Well, technically one of them's older.
True. Well, true.
Sorry, levity.
You do remember what day this is being released on, right?
I know. I apologize. Forgive me.
Send your hate mail to jimmykdillon@gmail.com.
You can copy Fred Curry.
You can copy Fred Curry at Fred Curry.
It'll be carbon copy. You don't have to blind copy.
Email.com.
You don't know he hates me.
Fred, we love you. No, so I was excited for this episode. I'm not the hugest Michael Jackson fan. For whatever reason, people always associate Michael Jackson and Prince. They go, you're a Michael Jackson person, you're a Prince person. And it's fucking bullshit. One was a musician, the other one's an entertainer. They're both the premier of what they did. Nothing alike. Yeah, and they both sang in falsetto. They were both light-skinned black guys who sang in falsetto voices. That's the only thing they had in common.
True.
One was
but I'll start off with my list. My number 4 is part of a basic bitch. Input graphic here off his 5th studio album. It's Rock With You from Off the Wall. Yeah. I gotta admit, when I approach this list, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get some deep tracks here, and I couldn't ignore the songs I really love. So they might be some same G's as other people, but I just had to really put the songs I really loved. Again, not the hugest Michael Jackson fans, but the ones I like, I really do like. The song was written by Rod Temperman. He also wrote Thriller. So I guess this is the second single off the wall, not Fly on the Wall. That would be AC/DC. I swear to God, I redo half my notes because I kept on writing Fly on the Wall. Fuck. Entry this song was originally offered to
I know
Karen Carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
While she was working on her first solo album, but she turned it down. Rolling Stone places the song at number 354 on its top 500 greatest songs of all time.
Bullshit.
I mean, what are those songs? I got to look at the list because let's be honest, most of Rolling Stone's lists are made to enrage people.
Yeah.
I think they put Eddie Van Halen number 28 for all-time guitar, so fuck them.
Right.
The song hit number 1 in the US, number 3 in Canada. Interesting enough, Fly on the Wall is the first album that was produced by Quincy Jones.
Off the Wall.
Did I say Fly on the Wall? Fuck! I knew I was going to do it. Off the Wall and cut. Off the Wall was the first album produced by Quincy Jones. He, of course, would go on to produce Thriller and Bad. So all three of Michael Jackson's biggest albums. Yeah. But yeah, that's my number 4.
That's great.
Flying, but from the AC/DC album, Fly on the Wall.
Right, first blood. No, it's great, man. It's that album's great. That song is great. Relax your mind.
Excuse me.
Lay down and groove with mine.
My number 3.
Hold on.
What?
Hold on, Jimmy's got notes.
Okay, we have a thing for like it's a graphic for like the website. We have a graphic for Dink's top 20. We have to have a graphic for Jimmy's notes.
Hold on, I've got a couple notes.
And let me put the graphic here, and you're good to go.
No, it'll be pretty quick. The last episode, please go back. 70s one-hit wonders. I talked about John Jr. Robinson. He obviously he played on this album, and he was a huge part of this album. That he was asked to do 20 different fills, and the first take was the one they went back to that they didn't like, and he just
it's perfect.
He was just a consummate professional, just an amazing drummer. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
I may have a lot more notes to cover.
Maybe, probably, most likely. Odds are, yes, you do. My number 3 is another basic bitch graphic there. Is Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Again, it's off of not Fly on the Wall, but Off the Wall. It was the first single released from the album on July 10th, 1979. Again, this song was written by Michael Jackson himself, which is interesting because Michael Jackson is very much like Ozzy Osbourne. They don't play instruments, but they'll hum their parts and they'll describe what they want the beat and how they want the beat.
Yep.
Which, if you think about it, if you don't play the instrument, is immensely harder. And Michael Jackson and Ozzy, both in the parts that they come up with, I'm not talking about Sharon Osbourne said Ozzy came up with, the stuff he actually came up with. That's harder because you can't convey what you're hearing in your head as easily as you can if you played an instrument. So I always find it interesting that big, artists like Michael Jackson never took on learning instruments as he got famous. And I'm sure he played instruments, especially piano. I'm pretty sure he played piano very well.
Piano and guitar.
Yeah. But for the most parts, everyone that talked to him, especially the studio musicians we'd talk to, he's like, he would hum the parts or explain exactly what he wanted. And he was very good at doing that. So I guess he didn't have to.
He would be able to take his hum and say, the musician would play a B chord. He could, no, go a little higher, go a little lower, go a little higher. That's perfect. That's what I'm hearing in my head.
Yeah. Interesting enough too. This song was actually the first recording he had complete creative control on.
The album was
the album, but the song was the number one. The entire album, but the song started it. This is actually his second solo single to hit number one. It hit US number one in US Billboard. It hit number one in 9 countries, including Canada. And again, it's that era where it has that funk guitar in the background that I just love so much. And I'm going to tell you this right now: if you're in a cover band, if you're in a bar band, and you're playing any kind of funk guitar, I don't care if it's Kiss, I don't care if it's Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, whatever that part is, don't play a generic guitar part. Play the actual guitar part. It's not that fucking hard, okay? Play the actual guitar part.
Move your pinky to get the right chord.
Play the actual chord. Not that fucking hard, okay? That's all I got to say on that song. Number 3, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough.
Good song.
Great intro. It's one of the, as much as I like dance music and more probably sway to the 90s dance when I was actually hitting bars and dancing, this would then be a retro song they would play, right?
Yeah.
This is a song I will request at a wedding. This is a song that gets me on a dance floor.
Me too.
Ooh, now I know what the request
I
was.
fucking love
Canada.
this. Like, it is. I think it's his best song, which gives away my number one. But
maybe mine too. Who knows? Yeah. This album so
it's
far,
fantastic.
This album so far of your 2 picks. This is the album. Hold on. It might be right here.
Right.
This is an album that I put on frequently, and we talked in other shows. Joe said he's never seen me dance. I dance, I sing, I fucking get down on the boogie for this album.
He get down on the boogie.
Well played.
I'm not sure I want to see that, but
I think I do actually.
I guess I could be, like I said, not being the biggest Michael Jackson fan, I have really put this album to the wayside and just kind of forgot about a lot of the album tracks.
It's
great. Very good. It's a great fucking album, man.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like I was like, God damn, what have I been doing? Yeah, it's a great album. It really is.
It's great, and I know we're gonna get to some tracks maybe off. Bad's great too, but Thriller gets all the love, right?
Thriller gets all the love. The weird thing is too is many as copies of Off the Wall sang or sold, it's still kind of underrated.
Yes,
as an album,
not even for him, just in general.
Right.
Just
for those about to rock.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Miserable 7 million.
No, I meant that as a legitimate comment. I meant that as a legitimate
okay. Wasn't that? We're sure that was a comment of my fly on the wall comment, but
no. Going back to our AC/DC show, please go back and watch. You'll understand that reference.
Yeah.
My number 2 actually incorporates him in one of my all-time favorite songwriters of all time. I don't think I've even brought these guys up in a show yet, and they're one of my favorite all-time bands, and that's the Beatles. I fucking love the Beatles. If you ask me if I'm a Beatles or Stones guy, I don't fucking give 2 shits about the fucking Rolling Stones. I gotta be honest with you, I don't care.
Statement.
To me, they're just like a rock blues band, but but I love the Beatles. And if you ask me Lennon or McCartney, I'm going to pick McCartney. He just wrote better pop songs. Sorry.
Yeah.
He didn't write the art songs. Lennon was great at the art songs, but McCartney was the pop song. Together they made each other better. They totally did. Yeah. Lennon was the art rock. He developed art rock, or maybe Yoko did. Probably Yoko.
Yeah.
This song was famously written by McCartney and Jackson. Produced by legendary producer George Martin, who obviously produced the Beatles and many Paul McCartney albums.
Recently, rest in peace.
Yeah. Very, I mean, very influential, not only in say the Beatles, but also there's a famous story with the Police. The Police, when they were recording Ghost and Machine, they were like arguing, and they found out he was on the same island they were on, and so they told Andy Summers he had to go down to the mansion and talk to him because George Martin can come up here and straighten us out. And George Martin opened the door and he recognized Andy. He goes, "Okay, how can I help you?" He's like, "Well, this is the problem. Right? We're all arguing, blah blah blah." He's like, "You guys can do this. You don't need me. You can do this." And he literally says he went back to the studio and he said we can do this, and they did it. You didn't do anything. He's like, "Dad, we can do this, kids." But where am I? Oh yeah. So yeah, Say became Jackson's 7th top 10 hit of 1983. Fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Breaking the record was, at that time, was held jointly by the Beatles and Elvis Presley. That was later beat by Drake. I think Drake had 13 in one calendar year. I think it might be the first time I've destroyed a Jimmy note. But the majority of the song's lyrics were written by Jackson and given to McCartney overnight. The bit, it hit number one in 10 countries, including the US and Canada. The song was written the same time as The Girl Is Mine, when MJ came over, excuse me, and stayed at McCartney's estate, and they spent a long time there. Not only writing those two songs, but also MJ famously asked McCartney, "Hey, what can I do better in my career?" McCartney famously told him, "You should invest in publishing because that's where the money's at." And a couple years later, he bought the Beatles.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that happened. But the song was released about a year before The Girl Is Mine, and when I hear the song, it's the perfect melding of Jackson and McCartney. It really is.
Absolutely.
It really is. It sounds like McCartney. It sounds like Beatles. Sounds like Jackson.
We all remember the video, right? Like the video had huge.
It's a great pop song, man. It's a master class in pop song.
Riding the hay wagon or whatever.
Jimmy?
I just want to say, I respect what you just said. Sounds like McCartney. It does not sound like the Beatles.
No,
right. It sounds like McCartney's solo work or Wings, right? Like
Ebony and Ivory, so maybe a little Wings feel in there, but definitely McCartney.
Yeah. Well, a difference being obviously McCartney being the main writer for all of his solo stuff, and then when you're in the Beatles, you have 4 guys who have input on whatever it may be.
Well, you had
3 guys in Ringo,
majority, and then the other 2 had to fight for the other 3 spots.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, it's a great melody. It's literally a master class in pop songwriting.
Absolutely.
So that song was actually, I knew what my number 1 and number 2 were. It was always going to be Say It was my number 2. Number 1 for me is light years above the other ones. I've always loved this song. I'll tell you why later with my notes of why this song has even gotten higher up in my catalog of great songs, and it's not because of Michael Jackson, it's because it's a cover. But my number 1 Michael Jackson song is 1982's Human Nature. It's actually written by Steve Picario. Written by Steve Picario of Toto and John Bettis. Quincy Jones inadvertently heard Picario's demo of the song and insisted the song needed to be on the album. Picario was like, and gave it up. And actually had no intention of giving it to another artist. He was going to keep it for himself or possibly keep it for Toto. And he gave it to Jackson after the assistance of Quincy Jones. The irony of that is the rest of the musicians of Toto played on this song and much of the album.
He pitched it to Toto, though, right? And they turned it down because they were... Little did they realize at the time they were recording Africa, I think, at the same time.
Yeah,
so they were swaying to maybe a little softer versus Hold the Line and some of their heavier stuff.
Yeah,
and I think that they thought it was a little too mellow, which is surprising considering all the really cool mellow stuff they have done.
And actually, it makes sense when you hear the song. I can hear Toto in there.
Oh yeah.
The song would famously, among Michael Jackson fans, replace the song that was finished and recorded named Carousel. That song would not be released until Thriller's 40th anniversary edition, and they included that Carousel song. Otherwise, that recorded song for Thriller named Carousel would never be released.
Would never be,
Mm-hmm. It was fully recorded, fully produced, fully mastered. The song was done, and then it got replaced by Human Nature. It was the 5th single from Thriller, hit number 7 in the US, number 11 in Canada. I've always loved, like I said, when the song came out, I'm like, that's a fucking jam right there. I fucking love this song. Just the aura, again, it's that aura. You can't explain what you get from the song, but just the feeling, it paints this picture for you when you hear it kick in. But when Michael Jackson passed away and John Mayer covered this song at his funeral, was fucking perfection.
I never heard that. I heard about it, and I always meant.
Okay, this was the day when literally the day after it came off the internet actually it was his live stream. That's when I saw it. When he played it, it's basically an instrumental. It's him on guitar playing the vocal melody, and just they had the background singers singing the chorus with him. Otherwise, for the most part, yeah. Otherwise, for the most part, it's an instrumental. And that was the day I fucking figured out, my dumbass figured out John Mayer was a kick-ass fucking guitarist and not just some guy who wrote fucking love songs. And amazing version. Like I said, it's live, but god damn, he hits it all the right notes. John Mayer knows what the fuck he's doing. And it's an incredible, it's hard to call it a remake because it's done live, but he does it his own way. Like I said, it's an instrumental. God damn, man, it's fucking good. So Human Nature from 1982's Thriller is my number one Michael Jackson song.
And also on the wall there, Lukather, and I know you guys do deep dives, and he's interviewed so much, right?
So much, yeah.
And they're all good. Like, they're all great listens. He's got so much insight into the stuff he's done, stuff he was semi-involved with, other people's stuff. He's just a great listen, and I think he's a great underrated vocalist and guitarist. I've stated that before.
Yeah,
but I've seen interviews where he talks about this song, and obviously it was Steve's song, but how he rewrote the guitar part, right?
Yeah,
during the recording.
Yeah.
Or we need something else. Luke, you got to add something else to this, right? So he changed it a little bit, and Quincy said, that's great. We'll go with that. Right.
I don't think the average person, I'm guaranteeing the average person doesn't know how much Steve Lukather changed just the sound of Thriller.
Right.
You know, I mean, the entire band's on the album, but he made some massive contributions. He rewrote the rhythm for Beat It, blah, 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 this song. Yeah, amazing stuff. Another guy, I think I mentioned it before, I could listen to, I could listen to Steve Lukather literally read the dictionary, and I'd be fixated for hours on.
Me too.
He gives some really, really insightful interviews to Rick Beato's podcast and his webpage. Rick Beato, if you like music and you like the inside scoop and really, really in depth, like what were you thinking interviews, go back and listen to anything with Steve Lukather, because he gives the skinny on everything. He doesn't hold back. He'll be like, yeah, I fucking hated working on this song. It stressed me out. And I pulled my hair out, and I came in one day pissed, and I pulled this out of my ass. And it's a really, really good interview. And he, you could tell that Lukather really had a love for Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
totally.
Really did. Yeah,
really, he adored him, and you could really tell just the way that he projects about working with him. And because Michael Jackson was a ball buster.
Yeah, he was.
Versus, Joe talked in the beginning about the differences between Prince and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was a very structured person, where Prince would kind of roll with shit, work his own thing in what he wanted to do, but he would take things and kind of work with the other musicians, where Michael Jackson was, no, this is structured, this is how I want it. So but it's really cool to hear Lukather talk about that.
Totally. And I think you're right with Michael, and Quincy was probably a bit of a stickler.
He was a ball buster.
It had to be, right? So,
and he was always right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I have my issues with Quincy Jones, but
and I know we're not talking about Beat It, but obviously that's Lukather and Eddie were buddies, right? Like, and they're both playing on that song, and
Eddie rearranged the song so much so they had to cut the tape and try to put everything back into like time, because Eddie had been cutting and slicing, and they're like, oh, this is a completely different song.
Right. Exactly.
And he changed it so much that they brought Lukather in, and he had to redo it in a whole different chord structure.
Yep.
Yeah, it was too heavy, right? He had to bring it down, right?
No. The initial cut, the initial draft that Lukather brought in was heavier because he wanted to match the feeling of the solo. And Quincy's like, no, tame that shit down.
I need it on pop radio, right? Like,
yeah. He famously said that. Yeah. My only issue with Quincy Jones is he wanted to produce Prince. Prince told him no, and ever since then he hated Prince. So he made Prince, comments about Prince is an average at best pianist.
He went out of his way.
Below average guitarist, my dude. Okay, now you're just
because the whole world thinks he's a below average guitarist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Real quick, my honorable mention is "Leave Me Alone" from 1987's Bad.
Leave me alone.
I like this song. This song not sonically reminds me of Prince's B-side "Hello," but it reminds me of when an artist is pissed and has an actual something to say. Yes, Michael Jackson has a blurry past. You don't know what's really tabloid or what's real. But this was his response to a lot of the tabloid stories of all the bullshit he had to put up with. Again, written by him, composed by him, produced by him and Quincy Jones. But the song was everywhere. It was number one in Spain and Australia. It was top 10 in several countries. And interesting of note, was not released as a single in the United States or Canada, even though it had got every MTV play. But I love it when artists are pissed off and have something to say. I don't care what it is. I want the truth. It's so seldom when you actually get the truth out of a musician, because we've talked about this before, when you're going after somebody or you actually have, and not talking about rappers either, because a lot of that I think is, I don't know, it's just a lot
sell albums.
Yeah. But when an actual artist has something to say about their life and they're pissed off, it brings out the best in them. I'm telling you. And this is one of those songs, is "Leave Me Alone."
The video, it's the video when he's riding on the
roller coaster.
Yeah, and he got heavy play, right?
Yeah.
Well, Michael Jackson did not shy away from giving his opinion on shit.
No.
Yeah, "Leave Me Alone," Black or White, Scream. There's more than those, but those are the big ones that he said. "Man in the Mirror." All of these songs were like, fuck you. This is what I'm feeling, and I have this rage. He did it in a higher octave voice, so it was easier to digest. But he wasn't afraid to say what was on his mind. So
I applaud him for that. And that song was, when I was doing my list, there was a bunch of songs. I'm like we were talking about before, man. As great as "Off the Wall" is, bad as got some great fucking bangers on it, man. It really does. And I prefer I prefer Bad over Thriller in a lot of ways. I really do. As a whole cohesive album. For whatever reason, I prefer Bad over Thriller. With obviously the exception being Human Nature, but those are my picks. Now Dink will show you that I'm wrong, and he has the real picks. Dink?
No, I will. No, I will not. I will. No, I will not. I will show you that you were right. Because my number 4 is Human Nature.
No,
we don't need to talk about it. I'll just talk about it. My number 3. This is going to be Dink's shortest segment, so this will make the Dink haters.
What? No.
So 4 is Human Nature. 3 is Off the Wall. We've been doing shots like crazy here. 2 hasn't been said, so we'll talk about it.
Hold on. Off the Wall hasn't been talked about. The album has.
Not talked about it.
Oh, I thought you said the song.
No.
Oh no, he did Rock With You. Okay, so all right. Let's talk about Off the Wall.
Let's talk
about it, baby. Give us the skinny on.
Let's hear Jimmy's notes. I bet he's got some.
No. I
don't have any notes either.
Oh shit. All right.
He wants your notes because he has none.
I could give you the notes here. I got the song pulled up.
Well, talk to us.
Yeah,
don't fly through this shit.
Yeah, no, that's really I love the song. I love his songs. I think they are catchy, groovy, dancey. I went through I'll just bring it back to childhood. I went through a phase as a rocker. Fuck Michael Jackson.
Never.
I did. I don't know why. I think I told you guys this off camera. I put the tape over the holes on the cassette, and, and recorded over liquid papered the words, recorded over Thriller because I'd ran out of blank tapes with Helix and I think some Van Halen. I don't know, like a bunch of rock and metal.
Give me an R.
Right. And then later, like, oh, what am I doing? I love Michael. Now I don't have Thriller. Like, regretted it. Right.
Yeah, of course he did.
But it was overkill for me, and he was everywhere. And I was just like, enough, Michael. I'm sick of Michael. And then later in life, like, holy shit, what have I done? Like a true appreciation for all that stuff I loved. And it wasn't much later. It was even like in between Thriller and Bad when I realized, oh, I love Michael. What am I doing? Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and I didn't really know when Thriller was out because of age. I didn't really know Off the Wall as a completed album. I knew Rock With You. I don't think I knew Don't Stop Till You Get Enough or this song Off the Wall, which I love. I might have heard them in passing or on the radio, but Rock With You seemed to be a mainstay on the radio around me in Ontario where I live. So I was very familiar with that song. So I knew he had, and I knew Band, and I knew some other, and I knew the Jackson 5. So I knew some stuff from him. Then Thriller obviously was huge. But I discovered Off the Wall after Thriller around the bad time when I was like, oh, what else? Let's go back and listen to some stuff. I'm not going to record over anything else.
Yeah.
What? I mean,
what a loser.
The most expensive blank tape you ever bought.
Right. But having said that about this song, yeah, like I don't really have any notes. I just think it's a solid track. That whole album is. When you said that album, when you held it up, I'm like, yeah, I love that album now.
That song, that album, this album. You guys talk about Bad and other albums not being, liking more than Thriller. This album, Off the Wall, is my favorite Michael Jackson album.
Me too.
It is a funky disco album. He took the concept of disco, the quick up tempo, and he put some badass bass lines over all of these songs. Every one of these songs, the first thing you hear is that bass line.
Right.
Yep.
And then he puts a really cool, hooky, multi-octave choruses over that, over the funky bass line with the disco kind of beat feel. This is my favorite Michael Jackson album outside of some Jackson stuff.
Yeah, and I'm so on the Jacksons.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of like, they're almost like jingles. I mean, it's because by the time I was born, I listened.
They're jingly, right?
They're very much like jingles, like ABC.
I love State of Shock with Mick Jagger. I love that one.
I dare you to go back and listen to just the music of ABC.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff will get you up on your feet, right? Like.
Then I challenge you to go back.
Body down to the ground.
Then I go back and challenge you to listen to Ben.
Well, that was a debacle. Yeah. I mean, anytime you can have a movie about a rat and then have a sequel named Willard.
True.
But Ben, that was his second solo album.
Yeah.
He was 13?
12, 13, yeah.
13 years old. And obviously he didn't have a hand in writing a lot of that stuff. Right. But just the talent of being a 13-year-old person, boy, girl, whatever, to be able to pull that off and pull that emotion and thought and process from a prepubescent child and pull it off as well. Kudos.
Way to go. You just made me feel bad for about ripping on Ben.
No, see, I thought you talked about Off the Wall because it was offered to Karen Carpenter, right? This song.
Yeah, initially, yeah.
Yeah. And did you not say that earlier?
No. Well, no. Off the Wall.
No, Joe did. Didn't he?
Rock With You was offered.
Yeah. Rock With You is offered
off of the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. She turned it down.
Yeah.
All right, I don't want to be Comiskey Park all over here, but Off the Wall, the song was first offered to Karen Carpenter, the song.
Everything that I've seen was
me too.
offered.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway.
Hard-hitting news. Everyone gets
which, I was wrong on the last episode. I said Disco is Dead night was at Wrigley.
It is funny.
Fuck nuts up there. Correct.
It wasn't just you.
We all said it. We all said it.
And I was like, no, you convinced me. I fold like a cheap suit.
That's okay. At least you didn't go the whole episode, bring up 07 and call on, what's her face, Barker, when the last name's Baker.
Well, or Steve Howe versus Brian Howe. Get the right Howe.
Or
Sporty Howe. He was great in The Bad Company. And
well, we all.
Marty Howe was awesome in.
How do you spell favorite?
How little effort we put in each
episode. Hold on. Say that again so we can hear it.
What?
Chris is wondering how we spell favorite.
How do you spell favorite?
No one in the public has ever seen me spell favorite. So as far as they're concerned, it's 100%.
That wasn't even French. That wasn't Swahili.
Right. That's not American or Canadian. That is like,
Tourette's is a terrible disease.
Forte.
Please do not tease people because Tourette's and dyslexia
are
horrible.
Real things.
Please do not.
You guys are new at this, aren't you? Don't you know you're not supposed to rip on the editor?
Right. We're giving PSAs all.
Why is there a black box over Jimmy's face?
Why is Chris's segment just completely gone?
Where did Chris go?
This is how my segments get so long. I said it was going to be the shortest.
How come this podcast is just Joe now? What happened to the other three guys?
Oh, shit.
All
right, I'm moving on. Okay, so my number 2.
It's my show now, bitches.
I looked away and then looked, and it was just you. I was like, holy shit. Oh, shit. Oh, God, that was too funny. The audio people are like, what are they doing?
Yeah, you'll have to watch the YouTube version to understand what the hell's going on.
That's right.
Watch both because it's two different experiences.
Yeah, watch the audio version.
Watch.
That's what you said. You said watch both.
Well, I was going to explain.
I was looking at my phone, and the Spotify was cool.
Oh, man.
All right, go ahead. Watch the scrambled porn version of our show.
Right. I think that was a nip. Oh, shit. All right, my number 2 song is from Bad, and it is The Way You Make Me Feel.
That's a good song. Here's on my short
love
list.
This song. Charted number 1, obviously, in the U.S. Only charted at number 7 here, which I just looked at because I have no notes. I'm surprised. I thought we would have been number 1. It was number 1 in Ireland and number 1
Ireland,
eh?
in Spain. But yeah, we only gave it 7.
That's the worst Spanish accent I've ever heard.
Spain?
Oh, Spain.
Good eye, mate. From Spain?
Put another shrimp at the bottom.
You speak of the Spanglish?
Shrimp on the
another taco on the. Anyway, oh shit.
What's with all the speech references on this show?
We're all over the place. Back to Michael. Yeah, The Way You Make Me Feel. If you've got notes, Adam, love this song. Hey, Pretty Baby. I think it's just a catchy song. Like I said, I think Bad's a great album, minus the title track. I don't like, and I don't know if the Weird Al killed it because I don't. As much as I love Eddie and Luke, I don't really like Beat It that much either. So I'm wondering, as much as I like Weird Al, that he killed both those songs for me.
Did you?
He made some other ones hilarious and good, but I don't think he did those 2 justice, and they were 2 of his biggest ones.
Did you know the title track to Bad was supposed to be a duet with him and Prince?
Really?
He offered the song to Prince.
What was it going to be called?
And Prince famously said, that song starts out with, how's the song start out? Like something, I'm going to kick your ass or I'm going to kick your butt. He goes, I ain't singing that to him. And he sure as hell ain't singing that to me. Yeah. So it was supposed to be a duet. That's how he wrote it for him and Prince. And Prince said no. Yeah, it's Bad is the weakest song on that album. It is by far and away the weakest song on that album.
Yeah, because the rest of the album is pretty solid, right? Man, I don't want to give away any songs, but Man in the Mirror's already been mentioned, and there's a couple other really good tracks on that. But anyway, The Way You Make Me Feel is my number 2.
Great pick. It was on my short list.
Jimmy, you got notes, or I'll move on to my number 1?
No. I've spoken too much.
Yeah. All right. Number one, and we don't have to talk about it, is Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. I clearly stated that. I love that fucking song. Joe's covered that. So that's easy. And my honorable mention is Mamaku-sa. It is Want to Be Starting Something. Love that song. I think it's really catchy. I like the resurgence it got with Rihanna when she covered it for Please Don't Stop the Music. But yeah. When I think of these songs, like I said, I totally regret that move as a kid with the tape over. But at the time, I thought, I put my jean jacket on and fuck this guy. Whatever.
Yes, Jimmy.
Mamaku-sa.
It's funny that my list is now complete. I have some notes. I might as well expand on these things because
you might as well.
The song 1982. It's 4 minutes 21 seconds. Michael Jackson wrote this. Number 5, Billboard 100, 1 million platinum sales. The song was actually written for LaToya because LaToya was having problem with her sister-in-law. So this song was an explanation of how to handle the sister-in-law. Michael Jackson, and thank you for saying Rihanna, were both sued by Mana Dibango, who used the term, I don't even want to try fucking it up. Rihanna only got, thank you. Rihanna only asked for permission from Michael Jackson, did not get permission from the original author of that sentence or that statement. They were both sued, both settled out of court, both got songwriting.
Now we're suing each other for statements or friggin'.
Well, he had a disco song in '72 called "Soul Mamaku-sa," right?
Correct.
Yeah. And that's the play on it, right? Mama say Mama-sa, Mamaku-sa.
Yep. And so they both got sued.
What about the Bloodhound Gang? Remember the Bloodhound?
Yeah, right.
I forgot about the Bloodhound Gang. Wow. Yeah, they both settled out of court. Michael Jackson admitted to borrowing it. Didn't think anything of it. It's also the 4th consecutive top 10 song for Thriller. This song was originally written for Off the Wall, not Flying the Wall, but Off the Wall.
It was written. Wait, was this written by Malcolm Young?
Maybe it was not, or George Young, or any of the Youngs.
Sean Young,
Agnes Young. So carry on.
That's it.
Forgot this is Dink's segment.
That's my list.
That
was my honorable mention. I have a longer list on Spotify, and I won't name those songs in case they come up, but they're the possible ones that will come up.
I'm sure Dink will link that Spotify list in our Facebook page.
I probably won't. I'll probably tape over it.
Probably not.
I'm done with
that. He'll tape over it.
And don't get me wrong, before we move on, I love Michael's work, the body of work. Well, within that period of time, after Ben and to death, like he didn't do much in the later years, right? Or I could be wrong on that too.
Wow.
I don't know if I agree with that, but yeah.
I don't know.
Dangerous sold almost 48 million copies, dude.
No, I'm not. That's not the later years. That was 92. Like he died in
Invincible, 10 million copies.
Okay, so Michael, I don't think I listened to anything he released, maybe minus Scream if that came out after because of the video. But I don't think I listened to anything of his material after that.
No, I agree. His best material was those 3 albums, I think. Yeah.
Those
now we're gonna get all the
4 albums. Really, I liked Dangerous. So Dangerous, Bad, Thriller, and Off the Wall. That period of time for me is what I love.
I mean, these numbers are fucking incredible. Thriller, 124 million copies. Bad, 67 million copies. Dangerous, 48 million copies. His Story, 33 million copies. Off the Wall, 33 million copies. And then the other ones are, in the single digit millions.
Well, without looking at history, other than that carousel song you mentioned, is there is Scream on that? Is there any new material on that?
Not really, no.
It's
It's the greatest hits.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we'll move on. I'll pass it down
Two.
to whoever is next.
Chris.
Chris.
Look at the video, man. We're all in order.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, but I don't read the way you guys read.
He reads bottom to top.
He
instead
reads
of top to
circular.
All right. I read circular for some.
He reads right to left instead of left to
Right.
right, bottom to top.
I don't know. I mean,
He's a wacko. He's weird. You know how his mind works.
yeah.
Anyways, so I am not a huge MJ fan.
What?
The only album I ever bought was Thriller. That was the only one I ever bought when I was young. I didn't really listen to much after that other than what was played around me or other people played, or was a cover song.
Right.
Having said that, Thriller was huge for me when I was a kid, when I was
Sure.
like 10, 11 years old. And my family, my sisters, two older sisters took me to the Jacksons Victory Tour
Oh, wow.
at the old exhibition stadium in Toronto.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, you saw him live?
Yep.
You got me beat.
So my first two concerts were John Denver and Michael Jackson, the Jackson Victory Tour.
That explains a lot.
Can you feel it?
Right?
Can you feel it?
Can you feel it? Sorry.
Take
So-
me home, country road.
Right. That is like two ends of the scale there, right?
Right. Anyways, so my list is going to be, I think, pretty more basic than what Joe thought his was. So my number 4 is going to be Thriller.
Oh, wow.
Song.
Classic. Something I'd never seen before, probably more for the video. I remember we're going back nostalgia. I remember my entire family sitting in the living room watching the making of Thriller when it aired on primetime TV.
Yep.
Right.
That just shows how big he was, right?
Right.
Huge.
Even then, right? Like
People forget how small the world was back then.
Even my mom and dad wanted to watch it.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah, my mom did. Yeah, my dad did 2 shits, but my mom surely did. Yeah.
But besides all that, the monologue by Vincent Price, who I was a huge fan of,
Yeah. That voice,
Right.
dude.
and like just the song itself, it's kind of disco-y, but not. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of that beat, and then it's I don't know. What do you got, Jimmy?
You mentioned Vincent Price.
Yeah,
He had a choice between $20,000
Yeah.
and 10% royalties.
10%. 10
$20,000.
he
How
chose
much
the
money,
20
man?
grand.
copies.
He had no idea though, right?
right.
It's like when Eddie played.
10%.
It's
He had
like
a
when
shitty manager.
It's like when Eddie Van Halen played on the album. He's like, "Who's gonna know that I played in this album?
Yeah,
Nobody's
no
gonna ever
shit,
know."
Right?
I literally
Right,
told my wife that or the last couple of days because I was preparing for this. And she's like, really? She goes, even I knew it was him by hearing the guitar part. I'm like,
He
yeah.
did it because he wanted to work with Quincy Jones.
Yeah,
Free.
And I'll do it for 20 grand. I got an Iron Maiden thing I gotta go do. So
I didn't mean to interrupt, but that is just amazing.
but yeah. So the video directed by John. I think it's more because of the video, but that song's it's iconic, and from that album.
Mhm.
And for me, just it gives me back that memory of like one of the only times because we had TVs in multiple rooms. We were that kind of a family. We didn't ever watch TV together in the same room, but for that we did. For certain things we did, and that was one of the things. And I think it goes back to what you're saying. It just shows you how big he actually was,
right.
and how big that album was, and the song was. And
Well, yeah,
It
you're
was
right. Regardless of how many TVs you had, when we were younger, to get everyone in the same room to watch something
right,
was a big deal, right? It wasn't my house because my dad didn't give 2 shits about a lot of stuff. So if you sat him in front of the TV and it wasn't a Western with John Wayne,
Wait, do we have the same dad?
it was a big deal, right?
and not only that, like it's still charting. Like it charted in 2012 in France and Ireland and the UK. It charted in 2013, 2014.
What keeps resurging it? Like,
I don't know. But the
pop
UK
culture, man.
and France and Spain, like every couple of years, 2016, 2017, 2019, it was back on it charted 44 on the US Hot 100 in 2019.
That's insane. Right,
Thriller
right.
the song has to be the first song really to be like known for the video more than the song. You know what
Dude,
I'm saying?
I
in
think so, too.
2023, it hit the Canada Hot 100 at number 22.
Yeah.
US Billboard Hot 100 at 21 in 2023.
I bet you go back and you pay attention to media is like on some TV show, some movie, and it got another resurgence. You know, like, oh, people are like, oh yeah, that was fucking good. I should listen to that again.
Yeah.
Or it hits a younger group who hadn't really heard it before.
Right.
Every
Jimmy?
Halloween or something.
Well, I have two notes. One, the first thing you talked about the video. We grew up in a town that did not have MTV.
I didn't have it.
VH.
No, we didn't have it.
The world premiere on a Friday night was a world event.
International.
I had to have a friend videotape it that was in another city, and I had to wait like a week to get this videotape to throw it in my VHS player to watch the Thriller video. Because it didn't hit VH1 until much later because VH1 was much more conservative. Number two, oh shit, I already lost it. We were talking about.
Well, just to piggyback what you're saying about Thriller, the video, again, I was living in the middle of nowhere on a horse farm, and I didn't get seen until 2 or 3 months after it was originally released. And when I went down to my grandma's place, and we recorded my grandma's place because I happened to be on because we'd go down there and record MTV because we didn't get MTV.
Yeah, I remember you saying that other episode. You got your
in a previous episode, early episode, like first or second episode.
Yeah,
and that's how I saw Thriller. Was like 3 months after it premiered.
That the same. Well, mine was about 2 weeks. The other thing I was going to say is you were talking about the resurgence in the charting. 2 albums were released posthumously after his death. One happened very shortly after, I want to say it was 2010. Another one came out in 22. And that is why those big resurgences happened, because of those posthumous recordings. He did not have the vault that Prince did, but he did have a plethora, a cornucopia of songs that were unreleased, unfinished, unworked, and tangible, could be reworked into something relatively quickly through the estate. And
no, good pick.
Good pick.
Also, so that's it for that. Number 3.
Well, real quick. Sorry, I was unmuted. So, but real quick, Jimmy had mentioned his posthumous albums. One of them, the one named Michael, Sony sold as a Michael Jackson album, and actually has for sure 3 songs that does not have Michael Jackson singing. It's an impersonator singing on them.
Correct.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't want to say that because of the date that we're going to be releasing.
Allegedly. But all the fans were like, this is not Michael Jackson's voice. And then finally Sony is forced to go, yeah, we had the music. This is inspired by.
Correct.
Was it
that's why I was saying unfinished songs. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my number 3 is going to be short, so let me just spit it out. It's Human Nature.
Oh, great song.
Why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why?
Anyways, all my notes are the same that everybody else had about Toto and Steve and Quincy Jones, blah, blah, blah. So if you don't have anything else to say about it.
No. It's a great song.
And to tell you right now, if you're not the hugest John Mayer fan, go back and listen to John Mayer. He's an amazing musician and an excellent guitarist. Try to listen to John Mayer with a different ear. That's all.
A Van Gogh ear?
What?
A Van Gogh ear?
Oh.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs ear.
What'd you say? My number 2 is Beat It. Again, from Thriller. Won the 84 Grammy for Best Male Rock Performance. 2 American Music Awards. Just again, for me, it was iconic, and loved the guitar solo in it. Obviously, we talked about that before. I don't know.
Well,
I just like the song. I really just like the song. I don't have a ton of notes on it.
I think the song.
I can list like how many, where it was number one and how it did.
Right, it was number one everywhere probably. And
but basically, I just like the song, and if
that's kind of how I am with his stuff. I kind of just like the music, right? Like,
and I think that song encompasses everything that Thriller was. It's Toto, it's Lukather, it's Michael Jackson, it's Eddie Van Halen. It just combines everything that made that album so great into one 4-minute song. You know.
And another iconic video, right? Like the video era, and he was knocking them out of the park, right? Like,
yeah.
There were real gang members in that video.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah.
Opposing gang members. There was Crips and Bloods in that video.
Also, as I'm looking at it, it's another one that's recharted a few times. Not as much as Thriller, but 2008, 2009, 2010, 2012, 2022. Anyways.
Strange.
Well, also, I feel a lot of those songs were sampled a bunch. Drake, Rihanna, probably the biggest ones. When those songs drop, there's going to be a huge resurgence in the OG song.
Yep.
Yeah. So, sorry, was that 2? Yeah. 2. Number 1 is not off the Thriller, but is Because I Love the cover song so much, and it's Smooth Criminal.
I knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming.
Right? Everybody knew it was coming. Anybody knows me knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Especially Dink. Right?
Yeah.
No, I think we all three pretty much knew it was going to be on your list, just where it was going to land.
Where it was going to land, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and never mind so I love the Alien Ant Farm version. I think it's
I like it better.
I think it better as well.
I like it better, but the original is iconic. The video is iconic. It's got that iconic lean. He's got that fucking lean in it, right? And so that too is really cool. But really, I love it because of the Alien Ant Farm, and they just make that fucking song rock. And again, not a lot of notes in the song. I just really like the song, and I do like both versions. But I don't have MJ's version on any playlist. I've got Alien Ant Farms on plenty of playlists.
I was gonna say that song might pop up again if we ever do, or when we do a covers version.
100%.
Yeah, or a remake version.
You could do a Michael Jackson covers.
Oh yeah,
you could do that. Shaman Harvest, Dirty Diana. There's a really cool Man in the Mirror cover, and I can't remember the artist. And of course, Chris Cornell's Billie Jean is solid.
Amazing, yeah.
Right. So there's 4 right there. Like
Foo Fighters.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Jimmy's favorite.
Yeah, no, I like Foo Fighters. I like them. I like them less.
Foo Fighters.
I like them less again because they hired Josh Freese, and now they're like
and fired.
Yeah.
So I'm back to the Foo Fighters.
So my honorable mention is just one song, and it's "Say, Say, Say."
Say, say.
Oh, we would have been shit faced with the shots.
Yeah,
that bottle of vodka be gone. I would have shot that whole bottle of vodka right there.
For those
hold
of
on,
you
guys, this song
that may not have listened, an episode or two ago, we talked about anytime there's a samesies that we do a shot. Thank God we didn't implement this on this episode.
Okay, I will say this, just for the sake of the listener and a viewer, if we do that, it has to be the second show of the night. Yeah, okay, we've admitted we record 2 shows at a time, okay?
What?
We can't do it the first show. That would be bad. The second show would be awful.
Oh, my God.
Just because we're not doing it tonight doesn't mean the listener can't do it. They can be doing it.
There you go. Yeah, you got to drink.
It's a fun little game they could join in, right?
Is the Just Right drinking game.
Right.
Yes, you guys need to do
Or they could incorporate, they do a shot every time we do with the samesy, and they create their own list, and we say one off their list, they can do another shot. We don't know their list.
We're not narrow-minded. If you prefer to smoke, you got to take a drag every time.
Yeah, fire one up. Whatever.
Let's not get crazy, druggies.
I haven't heard that word in a while. Oh, shit.
I haven't been called that in a good 10
Right,
years.
here comes the fucking drug PSA.
Right?
Here comes the YouTube police.
Yeah. All right. So, do you have any more honorable mentions, brother? All right,
I'm good. I'm done.
That was good, Liz.
So it falls to me. My list has been completed by the other guys. I'm just
And
gonna run through it,
episode. Go fuck yourself. We're done.
right? I'm
All
just
right.
gonna
Have a
run
good night.
through it
See you
real
guys
quick.
later.
And if there's any notes that I kind of left for myself selfishly, probably not. But I do have 2 honorable mentions that have not been talked about. So number 4 was Rock With You. Love this song, adore this song. Silky string section, great musicianship. John Jr. Robinson, as previously spoken about. Actually, I don't think we did number 3, so I get to talk about a song. Maybe Working Day and Night. Has this been?
No,
No.
no one had that.
Oh, glorious day, amen. So Working Day and Night, 1979.
Jim has to clean his pants.
Oh my God, yeah, and my phone screen. All right, this song is 5 minutes 12 minutes 12 seconds long. Quincy
It's only
Jones.
12 seconds long?
Yeah. See, I just got so excited. Off the Wall, Michael Jackson wrote this song. It was never released as a single.
I'm sorry. All right. Unfortunately, I'm the editor. I have a great video. Great graphics going on there.
I missed it because I was just so excited.
Jesus.
I'll wait.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm assuming I did something fucked up.
No.
It's all we're living in our own heads right now.
Right. No, you're doing good, man.
All right. I get one fucking song to talk about.
We ruined it with a squirt.
You jack card
Get it out.
up my whole list.
Sorry.
Anyway, the coolest part about this. I'll wait.
Oh, wait. Go back to our Van Halen episode.
Michael McDonald.
I'm done. I'm done.
Michael McDonald was not involved in any of these songs in any way.
No, he wasn't.
Although he probably should have been.
He
Was
was
Malcolm
probably
Young?
him and
Oh.
Christopher and Glasscock were on the boat.
Right, with their steely dans. Oh my God. All right, so anyway,
So many callbacks.
The coolest part about this song is the walking bass line. It's a normal blues bass line. It's doom, 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 doom. That's a walking bass line. But this is a funky walking bass line. It's awesome. The horn section.
I was gonna say, so is it the same thing? Only you're wearing a fur jacket.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. And doing heroin under a bridge. The percussion is top notch on this. That is my one song that I get to talk about. It's the 3rd song on Off the Wall. Want to Be Certain Something. We talked about that. 4th consecutive. Want to Be Certain Something is the 4th consecutive top 10 song from Thriller. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Cool Minneapolis reference here in a roundabout way. There is a discrepancy between crediting on the ting, 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 ting in the beginning. Michael Jackson said it's Randy, Janet, and Michael playing pop bottles with drumsticks. Sheila E. is credited for hitting the pop bottles with drumsticks. So who's right, who's wrong?
Wow.
So that's Sheila E. is the roundabout way. The only way I could squeak in a Minnesota reference so far. So I'll just hit my honorable mentions. You guys talked about the latter part of Michael Jackson's career. My favorite album, solo-wise, is Off the Wall, hands down. Thriller, it's a good album. I don't think it's as good as Off the Wall. Blasphemy, I get it. Bad, I think, personally, I thought he was kind of a caricature of himself vocally, so I didn't embrace bad. I did like Dangerous. I did like Hits. In fact, my honorable mention is Scream, written with Janet Jackson off of Hits. I really, really like this song. They complement each other so well. Sounds like an insult. It's not meant to be an insult. There's an angst to it. It's hard to get the angst to it, this higher vocal range, but there's a complete angst and a frustration there. My other honorable mention is going to be Ghost. It's more of a dance hit. It's off his later albums. I got so worked up that I didn't write down the album it's from, and I apologize. It's really cool. A lot of dance troupe, a lot of cheer brigades use this as part of their songs that they use. I grew up as a cheer dad, so I know a lot of cheer songs. My stepdaughter was a dancer, so Ghost was using a lot of her troops. So
Right.
those are my honorable mentions. As far as making up for lost time, I get to close out the show with some really fucking cool information. If you guys are ready, please comment on my songs while I grab the notes. What do you guys think about Scream and Ghost?
I like Scream. I don't know if I'm overly familiar with Ghost, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of an
Are you going to mention other songs in your closing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because there's a couple of that are close to my list that didn't get, because we all had so many the same, but I'll let you do your thing because I think they deserve a quick nod with no notes or whatever. But
yeah, absolutely. And I'll take a little pause. So if you guys want to comment on the song that I talk about, I'm going to give some numbers here real quick before I talk about the songs. 51 top 100 hits. Of those 51, 30 of them were top 10 hits. 13 of them were number one. Fucking amazing.
amazing.
If you were to combine all of the chart time, all of them together from these 51 songs, 732 cumulative weeks.
Insane.
That's 37 cumulative for top 10 songs. So almost a year of just top 10 songs cumulative. Or yeah, almost. Only one of only 8 acts with 5 or more consecutive number one hits. Thriller is one of 5 studio albums with 7 top 10 hits. Just amazing. Can you guess the top 5 best, top 5 Billboard number one artists
Of all time?
Up
All
to date,
time, with
up
the
to date
most
right now.
top 10s?
Well, Michael Jackson,
Oh, yeah, him. Yeah.
Madonna,
4A. Hold on. Michael Jackson is 4A tied. 2A tie at 4.
Taylor Swift,
Taylor Swift is number 8 with 12.
Katy Perry?
Nope.
no. The Beatles,
The Beatles lead the pack with 20 number one top hits.
No,
I think they also lead the most the artist with most of multiple hits within the top 5 as well.
he puts his
Michael
glasses on
Jackson,
for
Madonna,
Katy
Madonna, we
Perry.
said.
Madonna is number 6 at 12.
I don't think this is true, but I'll say Elvis.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
So we're going the top 5.
Drake,
Drake is 4B tied with MJ.
Huh.
18.
interesting.
So you're missing 2 and 3.
I don't even know. Fuck.
I'll give you like 10 seconds because the dead air is.
Yeah, go ahead.
So number 2, Mariah Carey at 19.
Oh, shit.
Really?
Of course, right.
Huh.
Rihanna, number 3 at 14.
Wow.
So you have the Beatles at 20, Mariah Carey at 19, Rihanna at 14. Michael Jackson and Drake tied at 13, and Madonna technically at 6 with 12. Taylor Swift, a modern reference, at 12. So Taylor Swift is holding her own quite well.
Yeah, as she does, as she typically does. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I listed out 51 songs. I'm not going to do that. I cut out all the songs we talked about. So one thing that has to be mentioned, I said it in another show, is Billie Jean is the best in my mind, top Michael Jackson song ever. Number one for 7 weeks, number one for 7 weeks, on the charts for 25 weeks. Going down a handful, In the Closet charted at peak 6 for 20 weeks. Will You Be There, number 7 for 20 weeks. Black or White, number 1 for 7 weeks, charted for 20 weeks. Remember the Time, number 3.
That's one of the songs I was going to mention.
That's one of the songs, me too. Remember the Time peaked at 3, on the charts for 20 weeks. The Girl Is Mine, number 2, peaked 18 weeks. Go down. Pretty Young Thing, peaked at 10, stayed on the charts for 16 weeks. Dirty Diana, number 1, stayed on the charts for 14 weeks. Bad, number 1, stayed on the charts for 14 weeks. So I could go on, but I'm not going to. This has been a pretty cool exercise in what we all like, and obviously there's a lot of samesies. There's a bunch of different ones. We all love Michael Jackson, except for Chris, but he really does like him. He enjoys him. Everyone kind of enjoys Michael Jackson. Some of us like them more. My whole life has had Michael Jackson in it, and I do really thoroughly enjoy Michael Jackson. Outside of the controversy, outside of the other bullshit, the music is the foremost, and I really do like Michael Jackson. I am sad that he is gone. A great artist, no longer giving us music.
I agree. That was well said. Dink needs to clear the air so people don't think he's an idiot for saying Katy Perry, but I knew she had something to do, and I just didn't meet your criteria. Teenage Dream became the first album by a female artist to produce 5 #1 Billboard 100 singles, the second album overall after Michael Jackson's Bad. I knew she was right there with him on something, and that's why I said it. Anyway, So someone listening's like, Katy Perry? That's why it was in my head.
No, I mean, that was a huge album. That was.
But no, I'm totally with you on Michael outside of the controversy, and it's definitely a topic that we didn't cover and we were not going to, but it sways people, right? People that maybe did like him won't give him the time of day now because of the allegations. Because there is, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah, there's some gray area there.
There's some gray area, exactly. But I'm with you on the music, right? And for me, it's that 4-album chunk that it's just like, it's either those are albums that are easy to, even with the ones I said bad and beat it, no offense, Chris, that I can listen to front to back. Those albums, put them on. If we're gonna listen to Michael, just put them on. We don't need a cherry pick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get any other comments? Because I think we should probably close this up. This one's gone pretty good. So, all right. Well, for me, Jimmy, Dink, Chris, and Joe, thank you so much for watching and listening. Just Ranked. Go to our webpage, justrankedpod.com. Check out the landing page. You can see all of our socials. One click, you can get to all of your destinations, all of our destinations. With this, I love you. Thank you. Go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself.